Can I just say now to the audience, if you thought that Rockbusters was bad, if you thought that piece of rubbish earlier about the Chinese hairy kid was bad, I'm suspecting this is going to be really not very good at all. I'm just pointing the finger.
What do you think of it? What do you think of his negativity, Carl?
He keeps doing it.
I just don't think you should start with the name of the quiz first. This is my only concern. You come up with cheapest chimps, and now you're trying to construct a game around that. And I'm not sure it's a proper... Well, okay, what is the game? Let's hear it.
Right, it's about, a chimp, right?
Surprising.
Spoke to an expert about him.
Who was the expert?
Someone at London Zoo.
Okay.
How many bananas do you think the little chimp that they've got at London Zoo eats a day?
Right. How many bananas does a little chimp at London Zoo?
Can I call in for this?
No, I'd leave it. I'm just testing it out on Steve, because we've already got an email thing going on here.
So how many bananas do they eat a day? One chimp per day, how many bananas?
Yeah.
How many bananas does a chimp eat a day? And does this mean that... Because sometimes I've seen them on the telly, they peel one, they'll just eat a bit of it, then they'll throw it away. We're talking a whole banana?
How many bananas does it eat a day?
How many bananas do you eat a day?
Getting angry. Come on.
Well, I'll try and have 2 if I've got time, but I'm pretty busy.
Well, I'll go... swinging on your tyre.
How many do you reckon?
I think, a little monkey, tiny little monkey, per day, over the course of a day, I reckon he probably eats 15 bananas.
Right. Ricky, what are you going for? Little chimp at London Zoo.
But, hold on, but presumably they don't only feed it bananas. So
Okay.
So the question is...
It's how many bananas does it eat? Come on,
Yeah,
Rick.
but how many does it get given? It would eat 15 if it was given 15, but it might be given one slice of banana, 15 oranges, 200 potatoes and some lettuce.
How many bananas does it eat? Come on. It's
5.
Have a guess.
5?
Yeah.
Right. It's only 1.
Yeah, because it only gets given 1.
Cheap as chimps.
What?
So, it's pretty cheap to have a chimp.
Right. I'm on your side now, Steve.
I don't understand what happened then. What, so at the end of it, you always shout cheap as chimps. Is that what? That's the quiz, is it?
Oh, play a record.
Wait,
Carl.
so is that it? Is that seriously
Is that it? Was that the first instalment of Cheapest Chimps?
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the press say about this.
And why does it only eat 1 banana? Because it only gets given 1 banana.
I think that's all it wants.
No.
So you don't even know, you didn't even bother to ask him.
It wouldn't just get given 1 banana and nothing else. It would get given banana and then lots of other stuff like apples, oranges, carrots. It would get given a balanced diet.
Cigars.
Yeah. So it's just how many do they give it at London Zoo?
I look forward to playing this again.
When I got back off holiday and my dad was in hospital, I shot back to see him, see how he's getting on, and hospitals are depressing places, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Really, like, God, you know, even if you're not that ill, it makes you feel worse.
Yeah.
Because it's really, like, drags you down, these people walking around moaning, and, you know...
You, mainly.
Yeah. Nurses.
And, my dad was
political.
like...
Yeah.
It's
High five.
Satire.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I would like to be
They
the
don't get paid enough and all that, and they do, like...
No, well, that's...
Tony
what I mean.
Blair, are you listening?
I don't want to look like I'm moaning about the people working, because they all work really hard.
Yeah, of course they do, yeah.
But it's just
God
the hard depressing places.
High five.
Nice one,
Go
nice
on.
one.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm sat there, and my dad's getting fed up, and
Is that because you're visiting?
just he's quite an active bloke, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's got to
like
stay in bed, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like sit down, stop moving about, and all this. So so he's sat there, and there's an old woman in the bed next door, right, and she's in a bad way anyway.
Yeah.
Right. She must have been, she looked about, I'd say she looked about 98 or something like that.
Okay, good.
Right. Now, I don't know what was wrong with her, but she was always constantly moaning, and you could see that the nurses were trying their best to keep her happy, and she wasn't having any of it. And, you know, she was moaning because her hands had gone blue.
Well, that is a worry, to be honest.
Well, it's not, because she's 98.
Is that what happens?
But why doesn't the doctor, if I was a doctor, and I'm not one, but...
No, Carl, don't be modest. Are you a doctor? Yes or no?
but if I
I
was
think he's
there-
let it slip. Are you, Carl? Are you a doctor?
No, listen.
Look me in the eye.
Right. Yeah,
Right,
So this
Carl-
woman had blue hands. Had she seen a spacecraft?
right. So,
Go on.
she had blue hands. Now, she's 98. If I was a doctor, I'd be
No,
thinking,
she's not 98. You said earlier on she looked about 98. So you're making that up.
It's just shifted from
98.
speculation to fact.
Absolute fact now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, she's 98.
It is fact now.
There's a 100-year-old woman.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
If I was a doctor, I'd be thinking,
You're not, are you? You honestly, you
How did I con them? How did I get away with this?
I'd be thinking,
right.
she's 98, she hasn't got long left, why not just let her be at home and be happy in
With
her
her blue
own,
hands,
in her own space,
Yeah.
you know, and let her have a nice life, whatever's left.
Because she may hurt herself, she may have falls, some people have to go in there for their own protection, she might not have immediate
More
family.
than that, she may not have been dragged in against her will.
No,
She
no.
may have come to hospital because she was worried
Yeah.
about her blue hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when I was talking to Ricky, he said, oh, what it would have been is, probably a bit of, did you say it's rheumatism or something?
No, I said a blueness can be through lack of circulation.
Right, so, just...
And
say,
I'm definitely not a doctor.
You've got blue hands, bad circulation, we're gonna send you home, we'll give you a Rubik's Cube, play around with that with your hands, get the blood...
Rubik's Cube!
Get the blood pumping, and don't worry, don't say, oh, it's really bad, just think she's 98, let her have a nice rest of the life.
Yeah.
But instead, she was there, and the annoying thing was, and they do this with a lot of people in hospital, they pump you with drugs, try to sort it out. They don't, you know, there's probably a bit of guesswork going on. Maybe. A little bit.
Not as much as you, but go on.
Right? And because of that, they sort of break wind a lot. So I'm sat there with my dad talking. Drugs do that, Steve. I'm sure if there's a doctor listening or a nurse, they will clarify
Right.
that if they pump you with all sorts of stuff, it wants to come out.
Right.
So you're sat there having a serious chat. It's a quiet hospital. The woman next door with the blue hands suddenly starts seeping gas, right? I start laughing. Because if there's one thing that makes you laugh, it's that, innit?
It's a 98-year-old woman with blue hands farting.
So you try to hold it in because it's a really quiet hospital and it'd be obvious that that I was laughing at, and I didn't want to be mean, but it was funny. And then it got me talking about my auntie, because my auntie Nora, she same thing, pumped her with loads of drugs. She used to have a cabinet next to the bed is like boots. She's got loads of stuff, right, for all sorts of stuff. And I mean, she's not that old, but she's on loads of stuff, right?
She's
and
a bit coked up as she smoked.
She called up my mum once, and
Yeah, you told us this. Go on, tell it again.
and she said, "Oh, how you doing?" And that. She said, "All right." Bit worried though. My mum said, "Why? What's up?" She said, "I've been breaking wind." So she goes, "Well, you know." She says, "No, but this one is going on and on and on." And she was like, she was like, what do you say? What's like passing wind, farting for 5 minutes. one thing, not like, you know, trumping and then nothing.
Yeah.
Continuous.
Continuous drone of a fart.
Yeah.
I don't think she had... How big was she? She must be the size of a barn.
No, she's not that big. She's, you know, she's good for her age.
No, but
Quite
I
slim
mean...
and that, quite slim.
No,
It's
but
just-
fighting for 5 minutes. Where's all the gas? Was she circular breathing? Was she sucking it in with her mouth?
It was just, I don't know that much about it. But she called up my mum. About 2.5 minutes in,
Could you hear it in the background?
2.5 minutes in!
2.5 minutes in, she called my mum up, and it went on for a further 2.5 minutes.
Oh.
And she just stayed on the phone, did she?
Where
the whole
was-
time? Going,
well-
can you hear that?
Well,
Did she hold the phone next to her arse? Listen to that.
She was off the
I'm
ground.
trying to work a tune down.
she was actually hovering. She was 4
Yeah.
foot off the ground
Yeah.
when they found her, the ambulance
Yeah,
men.
the cat's dead.
Don't light a match! Don't light that cigarette!
Yeah, it's like that advert. The kids come home from school, switch on the lights.
Yeah. There they see Granny
Yeah.
hovering, turn the light on.
Be careful if you have an elderly woman at home.
Yeah. Drugs make you fart.
so that's what I'm saying, you know, just let these people...
What are you saying? No, wait a minute, what are you saying?
I'm saying let people enjoy the life they've got left.
No, you're not. You're saying don't put them in hospital, leave them at home to die.
No, I'm not.
Give them a Rubik's Cube and let them die.
I'll tell
That's
you
what you're
something-
saying.
Yeah, I'll tell you something now, right? Steve,
Right.
I'll tell you something. I didn't want to do it because it'd bring the show down. But she did die.
Who, the blue-handed lady?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because I said to my dad, how's the, woman next door?
How's
He said,
farting?
oh, she went last night. They've got an old fella in there now.
God.
So, there you go. So, wouldn't it have been better to leave her at home, where her friends and family can call her and speak to her, even nip that round if they want, you know, with a cat, I imagine.
No, it's definitely a cat now. What's that cat's called that you imagine?
Probably, I'm seeing like a big ginger one, so I don't know, something like, I don't know, maybe ginger, or whatever. Maybe I'd a budgie. But that's what I'm saying, just let him enjoy his life, because dying in hospital, I wouldn't like to do it. If I went to the doctors and they said, you haven't got long life left, I'd say, well, I'll stay at home.
Yeah.
And that's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't do anything for them, let them enjoy their life. What I'm saying is natural.
Where was this happening? You were in a gym.
No.
A lot of guys are getting changed, and you were just checking out their
you're at your bedroom window with a pair of binoculars,
No.
and there was a little fella across the road getting changed.
I was at some night out once.
Go on.
So you were at heaven, and you were in the
It
toilet.
was some night out, and some people come running on the stage, right? Some music started coming on, and these 4 people ran out. It was 2 women.
So
2
you were at a
blokes.
gay strip club?
It wasn't gay in that. It was just a normal night out. Well, you know, some sort of party night out.
Right.
These people come running on, right? You got 2 women. You got 2 blokes.
Right.
They whipped their knickers off. The fellas whipped their undies off.
At the same
Now-
time?
Yeah, all at the same time.
Was it like
that,
was it like a choreographed thing?
like what's it?
Chippendales.
No, what you know, like Cheryl Baker was in it. It was that thing where they sort of, you know, on Eurovision Song Contest.
I'm making your mind up.
Yeah.
When Bucks Fizz
Bucks
ripped
Fizz.
off a larger skirt, conceding a smaller skirt. At no point did Bucks Fizz whip their knickers and pants
When
off.
you said Cheryl Baker was in it, I was thinking, what? Didn't she used to host Record Breakers? I don't remember that on there. Tea Time on BBC One.
So
Go
that
on.
happened, and all I'm saying is, right, before I had a look at the woman's bits, right, I just had a little cheeky glance at the fellas.
Why? Why?
Just checking it out, just seeing is everything normal down
Why
there.
weren't your eyes drawn instantly to the ladies' bits?
No, don't believe me, I had a look at that. All I'm saying
But you went
is,
to the guys first.
I didn't know how long pants were going to be left off for.
So you didn't want to miss your opportunity, is what you're saying? You saw a window of opportunity to see some men's bits, and you thought, I better take it.
No,
because this may never happen again.
No,
So what happened? So there's
had a
2
look.
women, 2 men, right? I don't know what sort of event this is where you're looking at anyone get their knickers and pants off. I don't know why you're looking at all.
Good night,
So you go right. There's knickers and pants off. Right. Let's check out the knob and testicles first.
You're telling me you've never, like, when you've been in a gym or anything, you've not just sort of turned your head, had a look, and gone, all right, yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
So let's just get this question right. Have we ever been in a gym and just taken a sneaky glance at a man's genitals? Is that your question to us?
Right, for me, it's the same as when you see someone who's a bit odd, 2 heads or whatever.
Well, I'll be honest. If I was in a gym and a bloke came in with 2 heads, I'd look. I'd get a sneaky glance in the mirror. I'd go.
Sorry, but you'd look at his genitals or his 2 heads?
It's 2 heads.
Or would you you'd look at the heads and then think, I wonder if he's got 2 cocks? And just...
I'd have to have a look there. If I'll tell you what, and now I admit it, if I'm ever in a gym and a naked man with 2 heads walks in, I probably will check out the genitals as well, just to make sure that he's got 2 of everything.
Can I tell you the thing that always freaks me out? I do sometimes go to the gym, and I live in North London, and the thing that always freaks me out is if there's an elderly man, often quite short, and I say this only so that you can picture something in your mind's eye, you know, because I live in North London. There's quite a lot of old elderly Jewish gentlemen, you know, wandering around, and I'm always freaked out because there's at least 2 I'm aware of who've got very, very large penises, and I always find that really disturbing because sometimes you can't help but notice because it's like Godzilla coming through the changing room. Do you know what I mean? And it's swinging there, and it never seems right that he's an old guy, you know, he's kind of a little overweight, quite short, and he's got a massive piece of action going on between his legs. And I always get, dare I say it, a little bit jealous. Because for a tall man, I feel I've been a little bit shortchanged.
Oh, wow.
So
there you
that
go.
I do admit, that's the only instance where my eye has been naturally drawn to it.
Do you know what annoys me in gyms? Where people walk round happily naked all the time whistling. They get weighed naked, pop a towel on and take off 3 ounces.
How exact have those measurements got to be?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Pop a towel on. I mean, unless you're going on the space shuttle, I reckon you could give or take a couple of stone. Yeah, a couple
exactly,
of ounces.
yeah. Absolutely right. Well, we've put that to bed. Well, it's that time. It's getting exciting. We've got Rockbusters results, but before that, a little bit of monkey news with... Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news. Karl Pilkington.
Brilliant. Nice to have read that for a couple of weeks.
Go on then.
Alright, so, is that this little monkey?
Oh, yeah.
Who lives in Morocco.
Right, I'll just warn you now, you're on thin ice from last time, okay? So, make sure, is this real?
It's been
Don't say anything
emailing.
stupid. Think about it. As you're saying it, think to yourself, oh, is that true? Do monkeys do that? Do they think like that? So, go on then.
So anyway, yeah, so there's this magician in Morocco, right? He's got a little monkey working with him, right? The way it used to work, magician used to do his thing on stage, do a little bit of magic, people loved it. Then the monkey came out, had a little cap, walked around the crowd and stuff, got the money, had a good little team thing going on, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the monkey's name was 86.
Right.
Because back then there was so many monkeys, it was like, oh, what names, do you know what I mean, what names do you use, what do you do, so they just named them, right? So this little monkey...
What, he had 86 other monkeys? What?
No, it's just that because a lot of monkeys were sort of working back then, helping magicians out, you know, doing bits and pieces, busking, what have you. Just
Well, Rick, you know how there's so
Well, why
many...
would there be a confusion with that? If he only had one monkey, where's the confusion? People would go, oh, I'm not going to go and see that, I want to see 86, he's the better monkey. Do you know what I mean? What does it matter?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, why do they need... where was the confusion? With people going to the circus and going, what monkey are you going to go see tonight? I don't know. It wasn't a billing, was it, with a monkey?
But Rick, it's just the same with humans. You know, there's so many humans now that we can't give them names anymore.
Yeah,
they all have to
exactly.
have numbers.
Exactly, yeah, there's so many humans, you know, with 5 billion people, we can't give them names, it's impossible. But, you know, with a few monkeys
Anyway, number
working...
122, go on.
So anyway, there he is.
86.
86.
With his hat.
With his hat, walking around getting the money.
Yeah.
Anyway, the magician sort of, you know, thinking about moving on. Because in Morocco he'd sort of done all the tourist traps.
Sure.
So he had a word with the monkey, said, how about we,
See?
No, let him continue.
Think.
Let him continue.
He didn't have a word with the monkey.
Let him continue.
so what do you think about going over to Spain?
Yes. Sure. So, the monkey was in agreement?
So he said, go on then. Right, so they get in the car, and, like, the magician knew he'd have a bit of a problem on his hands, because you're not meant to take monkeys out of the country.
Yeah.
Right? So he thought, right, what I'll do, I'll get a car, right?
Right.
Stick the monkey in a boot, right? Get on the boat, and hopefully sort of, you know, stick it in some luggage and what have you.
Yeah.
We'll be over there, we'll be earning big money, everything's gonna be great. So the monkey was like, brilliant. So they get in the car, they're on the way to the boat, and pull over at a petrol station. And just before filling it up, he opens up the boot and he goes, "You all right in there?" And it's like, "Yeah, it's sound." So he leaves the boot open so it can breathe and get a bit of fresh air whilst it's filling up. Goes in to pay the money.
Yeah.
Pays the money. Goes, "I'm just paying for the."
Right, this monkey is not going to drive away in that car, or we're never doing this feature again.
Carl, what happens? What's number 86 up to?
So 86. So
That's the ending, isn't it? That's the story.
Come on, let Carl finish the story.
It better not be.
Brilliant. You're gonna love it. Right, so he's in the petrol station, and he's going, right, I'll pay for pump 4. And the fella says, what are you talking about?
Pump 4, isn't that a monkey? No. Sometimes I use numbers for monkeys, sometimes I use... No, I mean pump 4.
Sure.
So he says, what are you talking about? There's no car at pump 4.
Right.
Keep going.
Sticks his head out of the door.
Yeah.
The monkey's giving it some. Went over to Spain on its own.
I don't know what to do.
Well, hang on, let's just get a couple of the facts right here.
Right, what do you mean, couple of the facts? Right, there are no facts.
So,
It
number
didn't-
86. Number 86
drove...
He drove to Spain.
You are... honestly, Carl, you must know.
It was an automatic.
Right. Carl, you must know that is shit. There is no way a monkey...
Mad, innit? That's the thing with
He
this
gets
feature,
stopped
though.
at customs.
It's mental.
How did he get through customs, Carl? He's got a passport.
No, he was sneaking about because he didn't have a passport.
So he parked and then snuck through.
Do you want the facts?
Let me see it. Well, I'll examine this, Rick, and we'll play a record.
Play a
and,
record,
I'll have a
because
look
I
at the
can't...
facts
That's nearly as bad as the armed robbery.
They're just too convenient urban myths. Everyone's you can tell an urban myth's not true because it's always this happened to a mate of mine, and when you say what happened then, they go, don't know, that was it. Was it? Was that it? Was it? Someone boiled a brain and that was it. There was no more story.
Well,
Were
there any dates?
Have you ever?
Times?
I think it was in Belgium.
There's that one that a bloke, right, was going to get a phone call at 4 o'clock to find out if his business was, you know, okay, right? And if he didn't get the phone call, he knew he was broke, destitute. So dead on 4 o'clock, the phone didn't ring, so he went up to the roof of his office and he jumped off to commit suicide. And as he was passing his window, the phone was ringing.
Oh no.
Carl, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Think it through.
Think it through. Who told that story? Who told that story? As he hit the pavement at 120 miles an hour.
He's the only person who could have known that series of incidents.
Also, why didn't
And
he
he's
wait?
dead.
As his life's at stake, why didn't he wait till 5 past? I said I'm gonna give it 5 minutes, just in
Just in case the lines are busy.
Yeah. And what sort of bloke goes out, I'll call you at 4, okay, if you're busy, well, call me anyway. No, if I don't call exactly 4, then, no, you commit suicide. Commit suicide? I would, because if I don't call at 4, that's the end of it. Well, call me anyway. No, that's not the way I work. Why can't you just call me and tell me the other way? Well, I'm telling you how I do it. If you're bust, I don't call. Can't you just call to verify in case something goes wrong? What if it's engaged? It won't be engaged. Just commit suicide at 4, please. It didn't happen, Carl. The other one, right? A bloke, right? He's on a train station, and I'll tell you how I heard it. He's waiting for a cruise station, waiting for, and he shits himself. As you do. And so he goes, oh, my train's in 5 minutes, so he runs across to Millets and goes, quick, Levi's 36. The bloke just puts it in a bag, he runs onto the train, he goes into the toilet, takes his, trousers and pants off.
His soiled trousers
Yes.
and pants.
Throws them out of the window, I won't be needing those again. Cleans himself off, open the bags, it's a jacket!
Oh.
No, it didn't happen, Carl! At what point did he go into it and go, quick, Levi's 36, and the bloke went, sorry, Levi's 36, what, a pair? No, shall I wrap them? Them? It, shall I wrap? Just wrap, whatever it is. Do you want to look? No, I'm not looking when you're putting it in the bag, please. Right? Well, 36 way stories, well, don't say anything.
I've told you 36 Levi's. I put it in a bag and charged me for it.
Yeah.
I don't want to discuss it further.
Yeah.
Just looking through some of the news stories that Carl did make it into Carl's news roundup.
Yeah.
This one you might be interested in. Headline: Woman says partner ran off to become vampire.
Yeah.
And it says a young mother says her partner has dumped her to become a vampire. Rebecca Roberts from Somerset says Matthew Barrett fell for a blood-worshipping woman in a US cult. The 23-year-old mother says he began shaving all his body hair, dressed in black, and used Rebecca's lipstick to redden his eyes. Rebecca caught him performing weird blood rituals in front of his computer at night, cutting himself to prove commitment. She said, I thought it was just a hobby. Everyone's got a right to one. I was pleased he found an interest.
Brilliant.
This is apparently from The Sun. Apparently he's left, he's gone to America, he's living in this Ohio-based cult. But it's the last bit where she's been asked whether or not, if he came back, would she take him back?
Sure.
And this is where I wonder if the journalist, you know how journalists are supposed to just report the news, be objective.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe the journalist here has maybe had some interference.
Made the quote better for them than, go on.
Because it says, I never thought this would take over his life. Now, if he came back, I'd say fangs, but no fangs.
Oh dear!
I can't believe. Imagine you're the woman, Rick.
Okay.
And I've come round.
You're the
to you.
journalist.
I'm the journalist, and I've come
Okay.
in and I've said, okay, I read about this.
All I have to do is not say that thing.
You've come. I understand you're obviously quite upset.
Yeah,
Everything's gone
gutted.
off. If he came back, would you take him back?
Definitely not.
Right. What would you say to him then if he came
Just
back?
get lost.
Right, but
I'm really pissed off with you.
Would you perhaps say something a bit more pithy?
Not in this situation, no.
You're upset?
He cuts himself, he drinks blood, he's left me. No, sod off. I'm not interested, mate.
Because I'll tell you what.
Go on.
I mean, I like what you said there, but I wonder if
Yeah.
we could condense that a bit more. If he came back, would you say...
Go away.
Would you ever say something like, thanks, but no thanks?
No, because it makes it flippant, because I'm really angry.
I know you're annoyed,
And I'm
but-
upset, so I wouldn't
Sure.
say, I certainly wouldn't say thanks. I might say no thanks.
But what if you sort of said it like aggressively, like you were giving him the finger? Thanks, but no thanks. Like you didn't really
What,
mean
sort
it.
of sarcastically?
Sarcastically, would you possibly say
I
that?
might say thanks, but no thanks, and that'll be it, and that's
Right.
and I'd leave it there. I'd never change that.
Sure.
I'd never change those words.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Do you like puns?
Hate them.
Right.
I don't like
It's
Countdown.
interesting.
I don't like QI. I don't like any of those posh Cambridge, Oxford type. I hate puns.
If you had to say thanks, but no thanks in the form of a pun, what would you maybe say?
I wouldn't. I never would.
Right.
I'd say thanks, but no thanks. I would. I mean, I feel embarrassed that I'd even say that because I don't think I would even say thanks, but no thanks.
Okay.
But if I did go that far, I'd leave it there.
Sure. Sure.
So-
have you ever noticed, as I have,
Go on.
the similarity between the word thanks and fangs.
Not really.
It's very similar.
Not
Fangs,
really.
fangs, fangs.
F-T-H, there's a K,
Fangs very much.
G, it's A and S, well, the A, the N and the S, but that's about
Would
it.
you agree it sounds marginally similar?
Yeah,
Is it possible you might one day say fangs but no fangs?
I wouldn't know.
Right. I could put that though, could I?
But don't say I said it.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Fangs but no fangs.
Yeah. This is the thing, just, if you ever read an article in The Sun, The Mirror, anything, do not believe it. Really seriously question and query it, because
If it ends with fangs, no
if
fangs.
it ends with a pun,
Yeah.
almost certainly they never said it. Let's cue up the jingle.
Hang on. Alright.
Perfect.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news!
Right. Let's have a look. This one's from some woman, right?
Yeah.
And she was taking part in the London to Brighton bike ride, right? Lovely day, weather's good and everything.
What year?
She's just a couple of months ago. She's done all the training, right? Done all the training and stuff. Got a brand new bike for it. Got a little puncher outfit and stuff, all set for the day, right? It's a nice day. She sets off. They all start pedalling and that on the way to Brighton,
Yeah.
right? So she knows the route and that. Got her little headphones on, cycling along. Suddenly,
Right, okay, I'm sorry now. If a cyclist overtakes her, and it's going really fast and it's sort of hunched over, but it's got like lots of cycling gear on and a helmet and goggles and they can't tell what it is, but they just know it's like a little hairy fella who hasn't bothered shaving his legs, which is weird, isn't it? Because cyclists usually shave their legs, and this bloke had really hairy legs. But and it won. They gave it the medal. It won 3 years running. They gave it the key to the city. It had its own game show. And then someone said, "Hold on, though. This fella's sort of hunched over, and he's only 3'5", and his arms are longer than his body. It's a chimp. If it goes anywhere near that, we're never doing it again."
more monkey news next week.
She's cycling
So
along.
anyway, she's cycling along, right? And this tricycle.
I couldn't predict that.
There's always one element you can never anticipate.
Yeah. Got a kiddie's tricycle with a little kid on it, little hairy kid with a helmet. Okay, just go on then.
Well, a tricycle comes
Whizzing past, yeah.
him.
Strong legs, don't they, chimps?
So she's thinking but didn't get a chance to see the face.
Oh, yeah, couldn't quite see the cyclist! Oh, God! You bald mank git. Go on. Yeah, research scientist Karl Pilkington.
So anyway, she gets to the end line, right? And they got talking. It was a nice day, nice race and all that. So did you see a little thing on a tricycle?
Thing? Well, a person, surely, just a human. Did you see that? No. Did you see that bloke on the tricycle?
So anyway, turns out.
Tricycle.
Yeah! But why did you say thing? Well, no, there's no suspicious. I mean, why did you say, did you see that fellow on a tricycle?
Anyway, so it turns out
Go on.
it was a chimp.
You're joking!
Right.
Well, Christ almighty, there you go. Unbelievable, and it was a chimp all along.
So anyway, right, so the woman's like,
We're never doing this again.
checking out the news, right? There's nothing on it. She checks out XFM Monkey News.
Right, okay, I'll
I
stop you
don't
there
mention
again. Right, if it turns out she does on the news, right, and the circus goes, we're looking for our chimp, it used to ride this tricycle, and it escaped with police chasing it.
No. So she listened to XFM, see if I'd picked up on the story.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't have it and stuff. So she got in touch with the organisers of the London to Brighton bike ride, said, look, saw a little hairy fella.
Why did she care?
Because she wanted to know, she thought it was a bit odd.
Well,
Turns
why-
out it was a chimp. They weren't happy about it. Of
course not.
Because now the owner of the chimp wants to enter it into the Tour de France.
Oh God! I'm gonna die! Oh God!
In 2005.
Now, a couple of questions. I trust you'll be able to answer these. Go on.
Oh God! Steve, help me out.
How did it get hold of the tricycle?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, no, that's fine. That's not an important point.
Like, that's important.
How
What's the
did
matter
it-
with you, Steve? He doesn't know that.
How did it know to... well, firstly, how did it know which way to cycle, but more importantly, how did it know there was a major bike ride on that day?
Just following the crowd,
No,
Steve.
no.
What's the matter with you?
The owner of it had trained it and stuff.
Aha.
No, he hadn't!
It had already done the run beforehand, before the big day.
No, it hadn't.
Like I say, it wants to do the Tour de France in 2005.
No, it doesn't.
But there's something about animal rights. If they don't let it enter, they can kick up a bit of a fuss.
The animal rights it's cruel to make a chimp ride a bicycle.
Not if he
that
wants
it's
to.
prejudice that it'll go, is it because I is hairy? You idiot!
Right. So.
Wow, that is the worst one yet. Absolute twaddle. Absolute rubbish, Carl.
Have you got a tricycle?
Unbelievable.